Hey everyone, how's it going? Geek here, and today I have another awesome video for you guys. This one's going to be a bit different than my normal weekly update videos, primarily because, as the title says, this was a total accident. I never intended to start a new project, I don't even know if I'm going to finish it, and I was only working on Unreal Engine to test some concepts out. Once I got into it though, I was in the zone. I started working a little after midnight I think, and got so hooked on what I was doing, I didn't stop until I realized it was almost 7:30 a.m. That's right, I got so invested in my work that was never meant to be anything but a couple simple proof of concepts, that I accidentally worked through the whole night for almost a full 8 hours straight, and wound up with the beginnings of a pretty awesome superhero game. So let's jump into it. I want to show you what I was invested in for so long, the work I managed to do literally overnight, explain how all this happened, and discuss what this means for my channel and my CW Flash fan game. Before we get started, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you don't ever miss an upload. Alright, let's get into it. Starting off, let's talk about how all this happened to begin with. If you haven't seen my latest Flash game update video, go check it out, it's pretty awesome. Wall running and stuff, it's pretty cool. Anyway, there's a part in there where I start talking about fan requests and how I started to cave to some of them because of how often people mention them in my comments or DMs. Once I covered the two main ones I've been getting the most, phasing and an issue surrounding alternate skins, I briefly mentioned that there were other requests I've been getting a lot of, just not as frequently, that I would cover in later videos. Before I go any further, let me just clarify something for everybody. I say it all the time, but my Flash fan game is entirely meant to be fan driven. I'm not like other content creators out here thinking that because I'm the game developer that somehow makes me better than everyone else. I won't ever purposely ignore my community or fans for anything because that's just not who I am. If I'm swamped with work or personal obligations, it can happen pretty often with my work schedule, then that can obviously get in the way of me being responsive online, but I'd never look at someone's comment or DM and just say to myself, their idea's dumb and they're not worth my time to respond. I'm either just busy or not looking at my social media. With that being said though, I do have to turn some fan requests down for the sake of stability in my game. I get people wanting to leave their stamp on the game somehow, but some of the requests get so far away from what the game is intended to be that I just can't put them in. Of course, you have the extremes like Flash traveling through the multiverse to fight anime characters. Someone mentioned making it a beat 'em up game with Marvel characters at one point, I think. Someone even suggested making the Flash become a villain or something. The suggestions can get pretty wild at times, and while they're definitely amusing, they obviously don't fit in a CW Flash fan game. With that in mind, there have been several more reasonable requests which, while they still can't make it into my Flash game for one reason or another, get me curious on how the requests would function if they were ever implemented into a project. Sometimes they work and they look great, other times I can't figure it out within my little stretch of free time, it really depends on the concept. Either way, they're fun exercises to do in Unreal Engine and they help me zone out and clear my head after a hard day's work. Last night was meant to be exactly that, just an hour or two of goofing around with some concepts in Unreal Engine and then maybe play some Minecraft or something, or maybe Destiny, I don't know, not important, that's not what ended up happening anyway. So, to circle back to what I was saying earlier about my latest update video, I mentioned several other frequent fan requests that I intended to talk about in later videos. Specifically, I mentioned custom characters. Since day one of working on my Flash fan game, people have asked about implementing customizable characters. Some people are simple, they just want the option to mix and match colors to essentially make their own alternate skins for their favorite characters. Other people though, want an entirely separate story arc for them to create their own custom character in-game to fight alongside the Flash. The requests have included, but are not limited to, customizing your character's suit, choosing your lightning trail color, being able to customize your abilities through another skill tree, being able to upload your own custom model to have the game rig and animated for you, and so on. Unfortunately, that just doesn't fit in the CW Flash fan game. That's literally requesting an entirely separate game about an original speedster character be mashed into the Flash game. Not only would that dramatically extend development, it wouldn't even be a CW Flash game at that point. Flash is taking a backseat to everyone's fanfiction characters. I'm not saying it's bad to be creative or to want to make your own custom characters in a game, I'm just saying that this Flash game isn't the game for it. I did, however, decide to sit down and play around with the idea of creating your own custom superhero last night, and that's how it started. I just wanted to see how it would look if I made something like that, you know? Also, I'm right there with you about wanting to play as my own custom superhero. I've always maintained that I love the idea. I'm a comic nerd, always have been and I always will be, so the idea of being able to create my own custom hero or villain is awesome. Also, a lot of superhero games just aren't really done that well in my opinion. I can probably count the superhero games I actually enjoyed on one hand, so it's not like I wasn't ever intrigued by the concept of customizable characters. So I created a fresh project on Unreal Engine and I sat down for what was only intended to be a quick 2 hours to see how a customizable speedster character menu would look if I were to commit to it. I got bored of the game starting up on the default map every time, my ADHD won that round, so I made a simple little title screen to spice things up and to keep myself entertained. I called it Superhero Project because you're making your own superhero, but also because the whole experiment was literally a superhero project in Unreal Engine. You get it? Whatever, I thought it was clever. Anyway, I made the title screen and it successfully entertained me. It got a brief chuckle the first few times I tested it, but then it bothered me that the title screen didn't have a musical theme. Title screens in games always have musical themes. Always. So I went online and I found a free superhero theme on SoundCloud that I could throw in to give the menu screen a nice background sound. So I worked on the bare bones of a customizable speedster system for a while and it turned out pretty great. Using nothing but a couple of variables, I was able to control my speedster's gender, animations, and even their lightning trail color all during runtime. I set up a basic test level, just a long stretch of land to run back and forth on, and everything was working perfectly. I could create my own custom speedster character and play with them in my little demo level. After playing around with it though, I just wanted to see how in-depth I could make the system. I had gotten bored of only being able to customize a speedster character, so I decided to throw in another character type into the game's code to see how it would look. So now you could choose to be either a speedster or a super soldier. I thought that was pretty cool, so I added another character type. Then I added another one, and then another one. I ended up with 5 character types in total. You could be an alien, mutant, super soldier, speedster, or vigilante. I figured that pretty much covered all your bases in terms of superheroes. Right now, the speedster and vigilante characters are the only ones you can actually load into a demo level with. The super soldier character, while you can customize them, doesn't have any playability yet. The other character types do exist, but only in name and variable type. They haven't been given any functionality. And that's what I was doing last night. I literally got lost in the world of customizable superheroes when all I was trying to do was test the concept to see how it would look on screen. Like I said in the title, I was not joking. I literally made a full superhero game by accident overnight. Obviously this is far from a finished game, but it's definitely a start. Like I said earlier, I have no idea if I'm actually going to finish it and make it a full game. I just know that this was a fun dive into customizable characters, something I never really tackled before. So you might be wondering what this has to do with the Flash game and my YouTube channel, since I mentioned both of those at the start of the video. Starting with the Flash game, I now have a way to manipulate the color of speedster lighting in-game using the same system I created here in the Superhero Project. This means I can start incorporating things like the series of velocity drugs as consumable items to boost your speed. Your lightning color can change to blue and gradually shift back to normal as the drug wears off and your speed boost deteriorates. This also means I can incorporate the concept I had for speedster characters temporarily tapping into the negative speed force to use different abilities, changing their lightning trail to red as they get angry like in the show. I can also modify the character customization system to make it a more cinematic way to add modifiers to your character. Instead of customizing the character, you're customizing their equipment and loadout. A lot of people asked about including the various pieces of text seen throughout the show as modifiers for your gameplay, so I think item customization would be a really cool way to sort through your available mods. That's how it relates to the Flash game, but how about the YouTube channel? Well, if people really enjoy this project and want to see more of it, I can keep updating it from time to time so it can eventually release as a full game. I could track its progress the same way I do updates for the Flash game and release update videos as I develop it. Since it would be an original concept, unlike the Flash game being a fan work of an existing property, I could also market this game far more heavily than I can with the Flash game. I could distribute it through more mainstream channels rather than just my website, attempt to port the game to console if possible, and feature it heavily on YouTube without risking it getting copyright striked. So there's definitely possibilities for the game project. Again, I'm not too sure about continuing to work on it though. It was definitely fun to do, but it really depends on what you all think of it. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I know this was a weird video. Again, I never planned on this happening, but I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know if you think I should keep working on this, and if so, what would you be excited about seeing in it? I think the biggest opportunity for the Superhero Project would be the possibility to collab with other people, since the game is going to need a roster of set characters alongside the player's customized one, so I would definitely need help filling that out. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It would definitely help out the channel a ton and make sure that you don't miss out on another video like this one. If you can, also consider subscribing to the Patreon where you'll get videos early and you can even become an NPC in the Flash game. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.